computer. Okay.
I'm good.
Woo! All right, we are recording. So, good evening. My name is Jen Holslaw, and Dan and I will go ahead and just mute everyone, and you are welcome to unmute yourself, but just to kind of limit any background noise. Jan and I are excited to share with you tonight about an exercise. And it's a Tony Robbins training, and I don't, if you probably have heard the name Tony Robbins. He has a waiting list forever long for people to train with him, and is one of the top motivational personal coach speakers in the world. So I am excited to share with you. And so a little bit about it. There's 3 things that get you to the next phase, and one of them is modeling. So you find people that inspire you. So like as Tony, so the person that did this, her name is Carissa, and Tony is a mentor of hers. So when she is watching him, she's not taking notes on all of his content so much as she is taking notes on how he commands a room, and how does he inspire? How does he engage? What's his energy? And for those of you that know Tony Robbins, like, his energy is really high, and his coach's energy is really high. And then they talk about, she immerses herself. So she takes 2 days off and goes and just acts as if she is the person that she wants to be. And so, I mean, what does that look like? And what does that, I mean, just eats like they would eat, and etc. Because our brain doesn't know if it's reality or if it's like what we tell our brain believes. And then the third step of that is repetition. So repetition is so important. We've trained our body to do things certain ways and our mind to think certain ways, and we get to retrain those patterns. So it is such a blessing that we can do that. So the exercise, what you're going to do, and sorry, I should have said this before, is grab a sheet of paper. And it can be any paper. It doesn't have to be a fancy notebook or whatever, just whatever works for you. And what we are going to do is you are going to think of 5 people that you admire. So that would be, it can be anyone, and the people aren't so much important as what the qualities of these people is what's more important. So just go ahead and start, and just, you can do bullet points or whatever. So I would encourage you to just start writing down, and like I said, you'll do great. Whatever comes to mind, just write it down, because that's what you need to do. So are there any questions on that? I think I can unmute you. I think I still have you muted, but if you have any questions, unmute and ask. Otherwise, just go ahead and start working on that. And if there's anybody that's really tech savvy and can do music, that would be cool, but that's not really my gift, so I don't even know if I would even bother trying. I'm seeing some faces. If you are doing okay and you're done, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we'll give you about 30 more seconds. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can always come back to it. And Jan, while we're doing this, do you want to make sure you can unmute yourself? Because you're muted right now. And I'm showing you're still muted. There you go. Perfect.
So go ahead. Could anybody share what you could share, the people that you have, you can share the qualities. Who would like to share with us? You can put it in the chat too if you'd like to.
And feel free to unmute yourself. I don't want it to be like it's only us talking. Sometimes I know like background noise gets a little bit distracting when we're trying to have our Zoom. So please unmute yourself. You're welcome to do that.
I'll cheat because I did this on the KK call the other night.
Oh,
so I'm pulling my notes that I already did. I have a toddler in the background, so hopefully she doesn't barge in, but I'll read one of, I had wrote this piece about KK. So on the call with her, the training, she talked about reading it back to, or I guess, maybe you don't want me to tell you that part yet.
You want to just share like what your qualities right now?
Okay, so the way I had wrote it the other night about KK was, I admire her confidence to inspire and energize women. She has powerful tools and is so smart. Her mind is right and on point, and she's always growing. She aligns herself with amazingly powerful people like Tony Robbins, who she is continually learning from. So she is so energized and ready to go with powerful information and tools. Nothing will break her down because she will be ready to pivot and move on. She knows her power in her core and embraces that power and grows it. She is not afraid to chase after huge goals.
Wow, you covered a lot of really great qualities. I see that Lori put down energetic, passionate, heart for people, giving, compassionate, dedication to team, problem solver. So there are just so many good qualities that you're finding in the people that you're writing down. I actually thought of our leader, Britta, and the amazing things that she does for us. And a lot of these qualities that you talked about, Sadie, I also see in Britta. One of my people that I wrote down, her name is Wilma Rudolph. And if you'd like to Google her, she's an amazing lady. She actually was, I'm putting it in live chat. She was born premature and she had polio, scarlet fever, and she couldn't walk. She had a brace on her left leg, and her doctor told her she would never walk again, and her mom told her she would. So she chose to listen to what her mom said. And she was the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in the Olympics for track and field. So yeah, there's so many people out there that we can emulate. And those things that like Sadie is writing, and the qualities like Gina said, funny, relatable, brave, motivated, selfless, intentional, genuine, true seeker, this gal, Carol, who did this YouTube that we watched, she's talking about how those qualities that you see in other people is because you have a mirror image of them. What you see in them, you look back at yourself, and whatever's in them, you also have in yourself. So Gina is funny. Gina is brave. She is motivated. She is selfless. So we have to tap into those qualities that we see. And I think what Sadie was alluding to is that we need to write those down and claim them for ourselves. Is that what you were thinking, Sadie? So
Yep.
we can make a thing that goes on our mirror in the morning so that in the morning we can see that I am determined, like Wilma Rudolph. I listen to the powerful people who are positive. And then Wilma Rudolph went on to found a foundation for amateur athletes. I can be a leader. I am a leader. I am someone that young girls can look up to. So we write those down, and each day we look at those. I know for me, the other day I was walking in the morning, and maybe I didn't remember those I ams, but I remembered Wilma, or I remember Britta, or I remember like the ultimate with Jesus. And as I'm walking, I think, well, what were those qualities? Oh yeah, I am determined. I don't have to memorize my list, but by remembering my person, I can then remember my I ams. I am dedicated. I am honest. I am reliable. I am genuine. I am compassionate. That's what Raven wrote. So reality is that we can claim those things because what we saw in others, we have in ourselves. But I'm supposed to talk about fear or blockages. Well, then we have to remember that we have self-talk. I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem where I go, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm having a bad day. But then our self-talk, we can speak that again. We can see that fear is blocking us from those things, and we can go back and speak those things again, putting fear behind us and our self-doubt.
Definitely. And so what I would like you to do now is go ahead and write those in I am statements. You know, like one of mine is like, so I am filled with the Holy Spirit and I have unwavering faith and the courage to witness to others. And I realize that it's not specifically business related, but so get those into the I am statements, because I am statements are so powerful. So we'll give you a couple minutes to do that. So a little bit of what we're doing now is we're taking those qualities that you saw in those people and just turning them into I am statements, just in case. If you guys have questions, let me know. And in case you're looking for ideas, Diane shared, or I'm not sure if these are Diane's or Jan's, that I am determined, I am listening to positives in my life, I am blocking fear because I am intentional and bold, I am respectful, I am kind, I am compassionate, I am genuine, and I am organized. I love it. Those are Jan's. Well, Diane, they fit you too, so you know. And feel free to borrow from others because we're better together. And Sadie, since you've been through this training, if you think of things to add, again, we're better together. So we'd love to have your insight as well.
You guys are doing great.
Oh, you're very kind. It's a group effort, right?
Yep, it is.
So I see that about half seem to be done. And what happened to me is as I was going through the next day, I'm like, oh, that one. And so then I just kind of keep your notebook with you and feel free to add to it. And you'll see things and it's like, oh, that's got to be on there. I'm trying to think of which ones I added. But so you'll add, it's your list and you'll add to it as the day goes on, or as, you know, as the week goes on. But so if anybody feels comfortable sharing, how did it feel? What did it feel like to say those statements? Yep. Thanks, Lori. You're so good. Yep. Empowering, powerful. Yep, definitely. And there were a couple of mine that I almost had when I did the exercise before. It's a little different now that I'm leading it, but I was kind of tearing up. And that is powerful. And so in the training, then she encourages us to dream bigger. So I know I'm stretching you, but just play along. But so this is Chris's, one of her things was to be one of the 6 trainers for Tony Robbins. She's one of the 6 trainers for Tony Robbins, but she kept telling herself, oh, I'm too young, or she would give herself the fear and the excuses like we talked about. But then she changed it to, I am the top Tony Robbins speaker, and really claiming it. And so what does that look like? And so Carol also gave the example that she had a builder that had just a toe in. She was kind of was playing small. She was almost a senior star, which we know is a huge accomplishment, but she claimed Royal Crown Diamond. And I know for me, that just seems so far out there. And then she started doing it. She said, I am a Royal Crown Diamond. I have those qualities. And Sadie or Jan, do you remember how soon it was that she hit executive? But it was fairly quickly. And she had been senior star for a while, and then she achieved executive. So you guys, mindset is just so important. And it's that mindset shift. And that is the goal. And it doesn't have to be a huge shift. They talk about just small pivots or 2 degrees just makes a huge difference. And she also just talks about, like Chris says, some of her dreaming bigger. You know, Tony Robbins feeds 7 million meals, was in just this small amount of time. So it's like, what do you do? To do that, you have to make millions to be able to give millions. And just giving back and pushing yourself to be bigger. So what qualities do you admire? You deserve it and claim it. And it's like Jan said, it is already in you. So, and you are just playing big. So you have to get out of the comfort zone. You guys are doing awesome. I am proud of you. And, you know, just live fully, do the scary things, leave a legacy. You are worth it. And I want every one of you to hear that. You are worth it. She talks about really like you want it to be emotional when you do it. And with that, we want to, there's that portion, but then we also want to give you some practical tips as to how do you share. And this is kind of one of the first trainings. So it goes back to, and you may have heard this before, but being a product of the product. And I guess I should back up. Is there anybody that wants to share their I am statement? You're certainly welcome to, and it helps everyone else to hear, to do it as well. This is where we talk about our comfort zone. Yep. Good. Lori, are you inhaling oil? Great. Yep. Good choice. And so with that, some of the practical tips that go along. Yes, Lori, you are an amazing inspirational leader. Thank you. Love it. And so some of the practical tips are being a product of the product. Lori, that was perfect timing. Like, it's almost like we gave you a script, that you're using your oils and using them in public, because not only then I find it so much easier to talk about the oils when somebody asks me versus approaching them. And so not only you're using the oils, but then you're also getting your own stories. So there are just so many benefits to that, because sharing your stories and sharing your experience. And that's where really being a product of the product, it sounds so simple, but it is such a key important part. And so then Jan, you also had a challenge for us.
Okay, my challenge is that on Monday is another 101. Can somebody tell me what the emphasis is on Monday? I don't remember.
Jan, that's let's get started with and it's the bioaccumulation one. So that is an important, so important.
Yes. So so I invited 12 people to join for the DIY on Monday, and I actually had, I know that you find this too, the more you have to invite several people to get them to join in. So 5 of them did join on the DIY on Monday. So then I followed up with them. 3 of them were my members, 2 of them were non-members. But one of them that I invited, her name is Dasha, and she was supposed to be on tonight. But then today she could not get on. So then I invited her to a one-on-one today. And she signed up as a new member today. And oh my goodness, she was already talking about being silver and gold. She is 17, and she's like, way excited about this. So our challenge for you also is to be inviting people. We have these awesome Zoom classes. So Mondays are right now 101s, Tuesdays are consumables, Thursdays are for building. So be inviting and see how many you have to invite so that you get people to come. So any questions about that?
And I'm not seeing any questions, but when Jan and I were coordinating about making this call or putting this class together, she shared that with me, and I thought that is something every one of us needs to hear. And because sometimes we think, oh, well, I didn't have anybody come, but you did so many things right. You had you invited several, and then joined and follow up, and then you cast the vision for this new member who is already so excited about it. So I think that's the best thing about us doing it together, is that then we learn together and we encourage, and it's like, and you know, feel free to reach out to each other and form the relationships so that you can ask. You're welcome to ask me, and I'm not an expert, but together we just learn so much more. And so one of the things that I would also encourage you to do is just post on the event in the DW Oil Hub. You will see just this event, and so you share what you did and how many you invited, and so we can encourage and support each other. And I know excuse me, for me, one of the big things is that I do best with is accountability, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but at the same time, that's how we grow. So what is one thing that you will do differently as a result of this call? And if you don't feel comfortable speaking it out, then if you're welcome to do it in the chat, or whatever is easiest for you. But I just want to encourage you to take at least one step. And help me out. Propel is, who is the author of Propel?
Nicole Perez.
That's right. Thank you. Yes. Yep. So I love Diane's is Use Valor. You know, again, product of the product that we talked about. And thanks for answering that. And if anybody wants to share, would rather speak, we'd love to have that as well. So what are your takeaways or things that you will do as a result of this training that we did? Yes, Diane, I'm not sure if you can see. Sometimes I'm on my phone and I can't see all of the comments, but yes, Diane, you are great at pushing past your fear. Yep, great point. Thanks, Candy. Yep. Oh, Diane, you are good. You even shortened the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you know, or to 3, 2, 1, which is a Mel Robbins thing, I'm assuming. But yeah, I have that as my I am statements. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to accomplish goals with grace and ease. Yep. Perfect.
For me, I think sometimes it's just you get overwhelmed by everything that's going on in life, and it's more of just making space, like making it a priority to make the space to do the inviting. Because it's like usually like I'm thinking of it when I'm trying to accomplish something else, but I don't I try to schedule stuff in, but then things still get chaotic. But it's like really holding that space and maybe making a list ahead of time, and then just put on the valor and you just go for it and you use the same message and you get after everybody. Like sometimes I'm really good about that, and other times I just think I'm going to do it, but then I don't make the time, it doesn't happen, or it happens too late.
Yep, I understand. And sometimes we tell, oh, it's too late, I can't do it now, but really sometimes that might be the best time for them anyway. So yep. I've heard it from somebody else, and I don't even know who said it, but progress, not perfection, because, you know, we're all making progress, and just give yourself grace. Candy, I love yours. Reach out to 7 prospects for new classes and send the Zoom link since you've already invited them. So great. Yep. The Zoom link is a super good reason to follow up. And then, Lori, great job. I know sometimes it's in numbers that you invited 30 people and 3 attended. So, but hey, let's celebrate the 3 attended. That is awesome. You know, yes, definitely a thumbs up. So I want to give everyone who would like to a chance to share. And, but I do want to push you a little bit out of your comfort zone, because that's what we're here for, to support and encourage each other. And if you feel more comfortable messaging me with your goals, that's fine. But really our goal is to help each other and encourage. Last chance. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and stop the recording.